Good evening, everybody. You're very welcome to tune into our webinar. Delighted this evening to welcome Gary Devane. Gary is the owner of the Portland Grooming Barber Shop based in downstairs in the shopping centre in Portlaoise. So the place looks great, Gary, and it's nice to see you in the shop. Hope you're
Love to see you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So look, Gary, I know it must have been, well, firstly, actually, do you want to give us a little bit of background to Portland and how it evolved?
Well, yeah, Portland, I say it's probably Portland Barbers itself is coming up nearly 20 years in business. I
Okay.
myself am a barber for over 30 years. So basically we started off in Newbridge, then we moved on to Tullamore and a couple of other shops around. We finally moved to Laois Shopping Centre. We were upstairs. We totally outgrew that premises. One thing, when we opened up, we brought a standard of, I suppose it's more men's grooming than a barber shop. We had an extra little bit, the extra little bit of service, and that's why we wanted to, set our standards. We got the opportunity to move to a bigger premises downstairs in Laois Shopping Centre, which we did, and it was proven really successful for us. It allowed us to really, expand our brand and push the brand as much as possible. We cater for all types. We put in, especially in the shop, we were very conscious. We actually put in a designated wheelchair section.
Okay.
For clients coming in, because when we were upstairs, we were very conscious of customers coming in and we're having to pull chairs out of the way or cut their hair in the middle of the floor due to a small shop. So now the customer can come in, keep their dignity. There's no fuss made about them whatsoever. They come in, get their hair cut to me. They're a customer,
Yeah.
And that was important. So we were very conscious. But the bigger premises allowed us to do this, and with the fantastic Laois Shopping Centre here, the amount of disabled parking, it's fantastic for them. They can come park out right outside the door there and just come straight in with their carers or in on their own. And we found it fantastic, and we really pushed hard over the last year since we moved down. We'll be 2 years downstairs in December, and we really pushed hard to expand and push the brand. And it was all about the brand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the people behind the brand, because we have fantastic staff. They're with me probably years, so we've always, and it's hard to get good staff. You can get any number of staff if you want, but to get good standard staff, great personalities, and we've got that. So we're delighted.
And you have a great social media presence. Actually, was one of the first brands that stuck in my mind when I came to Leith. You were everywhere and very active on Instagram and Facebook, and
we try to be as active as we can. Probably not enough, because when you're concentrating on the job in hand and customers, and you're trying to run the other aspects of the business. It doesn't just finish here at 6 o'clock. You go home and you have everything else to do, and you have books and payroll and everything else. But we try to be as active as possible on social media, because it's huge. It's free. It's there. It really will get your brand out there.
Absolutely. So in terms of the initial news of the lockdown, it must have come as a huge shock, and it was like shut us down really straight away. Yeah. It
was a massive shock. I don't think we actually realised how big of a shock it was or how long it would last. I think initially, we thought we'd be closed for a week or 2 weeks, and then we all back on the tools again. And the longer it went on, the more you kind of started to worry about the business that you had built up, how you worked so hard for the business. And to me, it was the not knowing of would that business still be there when we come back. And the longer this goes on, this is probably our worry. I know everybody's saying, oh, everybody's mad for a haircut. Everyone's really looking for a haircut, and I can understand that. But what's happening is, unfortunately, is the black market is absolutely booming, which is unfair, really, because a lot of businesses have closed down their shop through no choice of their own because of the pandemic. But there's people actually making money out of other people's misfortunes, and unfortunately, customers are looking for haircuts, and they actually don't care who cuts it. They're being charged a premium for it. So so the longer this goes on, is our customers still going to be there?
Yeah.
Plus, then it's going to be difficult. It will be completely appointment based. The days of the walk-in barber shop where you could just walk by a shop and pop in for a haircut, The mother might throw in the kids for a haircut, and she might go up to Tesco. That's gone. It's everybody now will have to either, you know, download our app or go to our website and click the book now button and book in, which basically this will help us as well with our contact tracing.
Okay.
Because we'll have their name, their phone number, what time they're booked in with, who they were booked in with. So if anything does happen, we have that on file.
Right,
But
that's very beneficial. Yeah.
It is very beneficial. Plus the other side of that as well, our time per client is going to increase significantly. We are going to have to sanitize chairs after. It'll be disposable gowns. I suppose what the difference in a barber shop, we used to walk in and we'd always, any of my very good clients, we would always, you know, shake their hand, have a chat.
Yeah.
Maybe even if I had time, maybe even have a quick coffee.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it's not, because this is what's going to greet you coming in.
Okay.
At the moment, this is what, and masks as well. So it will be visors on for all the staff. It will be masks for every customer. If the customer doesn't have a mask with them, we have them here.
Yeah.
At
so
the
in
shop.
terms of the supports that came out, the temporary wage subsidy scheme and the pandemic payment and online training vouchers, business continuity vouchers, have you been able to avail of any of those?
Yeah, well, we've applied for the Restart grant as well, and also the business continuity voucher.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting on them. We're waiting on the Restart grant because I know we're initially supposed to be in phase 4, so they're working through the phases.
Yes.
So it is a pity because that money is needed now.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of changes and a lot of costs involved getting all your shop ready for opening.
Yeah.
You know, so we could do with that now rather than later. And no business, I mean, there's working capital grants and all that, but technically they're loans.
Yeah.
No business wants to get a loan at this time. You know, so
Yeah.
a lot of the equipment at the moment, sanitation is self-funded at the moment. It's self-funded, and hopefully when the grant comes through, we can pull that back out.
Okay, so in terms of cash flow management, it's a delicate balance, I'm sure.
It's because even though the shop is closed, and you kind of think, right, your biggest overheads, wages, rent, and you know what I mean, you don't have that at the moment, but you still have the day-to-day, your phone, your broadband, your electricity, in your shop insurance. They are all coming out on a weekly basis, accountancy fees, you name it. So you'd be surprised. You think, right, I'm not running the shop, so it's not costing me anything. It actually is costing you.
Yeah, the hidden costs of running your own
in.
business. Yeah, absolutely. And I noticed there in the background you have a very impressive hand sanitizing station. So I'm assuming that's part of the spend.
Yeah, this would be more or less in your face, really, as you walk into Portland Barbers here. It will be stop, sanitize. When we open first, I will probably have to man the shop to make sure, because this is all new to people. We're not forgetting this. People are not going to automatically know. They're used to walking into a barber's. They're used to coming in, jumping on the seat and sitting down, waiting, you know, flicking through the magazines. That's another thing that's all gone at the moment. So I'll have to man them, make sure that they sanitize as they enter the premises and as they leave the premises as well. But also is that we also have like mothers that would come in, or say mates coming in with their friends. That's going to be gone as well. You know, we can't have crowds of people in the shop at the moment. Looking at the shop waiting, I probably can have 3 people waiting in the shop at any given time. It will be appointment only, so that will eliminate queues. But it will be a transition stage. It will take a long time for people to get to use of this, and this is the new norm.
Yes. And your Barbers Association calling for the 2 metre to be reduced to 1 metre?
I don't know if they're calling. We probably would welcome that, definitely welcome that. I know they're calling for an earlier restart date of the 29th. You know, we were quite happy, a lot of us, a lot of barbers and a lot of other people, and you know, there's a kind of split decision there. We were happy with the 20th of July because we knew what we had, plans and procedures we had to put in place, and it gave us that time. One thing we cannot have is that the government coming out and telling us that we're opening up in 5 days' time.
No,
that's crazy, because we've had a lot of barbers. I was lucky because we have our own app and our booking system. We always had that. A lot of barbers, this is completely new to them. My phone has not stopped with barbers and, you know, friends of mine, and I'm doing my best to help them out and get them a good booking system and get them set up. And a lot of them would not be very tech orientated, so this is very, very, so a lot of them are the old fashioned barber. So, and unfortunately, I've been monitored on Facebook and social media. A lot of them have already pulled the plug on the business. They're not coming back. They're not coming back.
Yeah, it is one of the, like, it's a traditional kind of place to go in, a bit of socializing, have
a bit of social,
a bit of banter, and so that's
so they called it. It was like the confession box, you know, and that's what,
you know,
we heard all the stories, we heard everything, you know, and but that, even with that, with wearing the visors and that, and customers wearing masks, you're not going to get that interaction.
No. Well, I mean, hopefully in time, eventually, after we have a vaccine, that will come back. We have to, we have to be hopeful that things will get back, you know, within a year, at a minimum, hopefully. But in terms of opportunities, I know from meeting you and hearing you over my time in the chamber, you're very progressive, in fairness, and you always have big plans and pipeline ideas. So have you noticed any opportunities, or have you kind of stuff in the pipeline that?
We have something pretty big in the pipeline at the moment. We can't say much about it at the moment, but it will definitely complement our business. We'll be the only one in the whole country that will have the license for this. But I suppose this time off has allowed me to concentrate on it and really fine tune it. So when it does launch, it will be pretty big. It'll be fantastic. It'll be very impressive. It'll be another service, I suppose, for our clients and for other clients that we can offer, and we should, but I would hope, all going well, that we probably launch it by probably September.
Okay, it's nice to have something like that positive to look forward to, and I know from talking to business owners, some of them while they were worried about their business, the downtime actually made them rethink, maybe pivot a bit, do things differently. So that downtime is no harm for anyone's well-being and health as well.
Anybody who's been in business, they're always, as I said, it doesn't finish at 9 to 6 here in work. You're always working at home. So all of a sudden, when that's taken away from you, the brain doesn't stop. You need something to keep you going. And I have to be thinking of the next thing. You know what I mean? With it to improve the shop, improve the services here that we offer in Laois Shopping Centre.
Okay, well, I think you're certainly a very progressive person in this industry, and I'd imagine a lot of people look towards what you're doing and benchmark from you, really, to be honest. And it's great to have you as a member of the chamber also. And thanks very much for taking the time out, and best of luck, whether you're opening on at the phase 3 or phase 4.
That's the million-dollar question, Bernie. When are we opening?
Yeah, and definitely I'd love to hear all about your new project for September, so be sure to keep us posted on any of those developments.
No, will indeed. Pleasure talking to you.
Thanks, Gary.
Cheers.